Hi everyone, and welcome back to Adventures. Well, you may have noticed I haven't posted anything recently, and there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you all about it right after this. As many of you know, I work on board for a major cruise line, and I'm happy to report most of the cruise lines are now up and running, and families are taking vacations again. So I've been cruising on board the beautiful Discovery Princess, and where have I been? I've been in Alaska. So I thought I'd like to take you along with me, show you some of the ports that I visited, some of the things that I did. You might like to see what it's like cruising through the eyes of a crew member. So in this video, we're exploring the beautiful ports of call, Ketchikan. Things that I did, places that I walked, things that I saw. Now, of course, my experience is going to be different than yours. You have all day, you're the guest, you're the passenger, you can take your shore excursions, do wonderful activities all day long. Experience as a crew member is a little different. I possibly have a couple hours in the morning and then have to go back to work in the afternoon. I have tiny little amounts of time in most ports. So every port we go, I try and do something a little different. But I love Ketchikan. Ketchikan is one of Alaska's most visited cruise ports. It's located at the southernmost entrance to the Inside Passage on the west coast. It's the salmon capital of the world, and it's well known for its fishing, beautiful scenery, and rich native culture. And the population is about 8,000 people. And today, our beautiful ship, the Discovery Princess, will be docking around 6 a.m. in the morning. So you can see the town is still pretty quiet. And here's one of my favorite coffee spots. It's inside the outlet store on the corner, and they have window seats where you can enjoy your coffee and watch the seaplanes land. And here's the famous Welcome to Ketchikan sign. Make sure and look for it when you're downtown.
As you can see, we're almost docked now, and we're right across the street from the historic First Lutheran Church of Ketchikan, Alaska, that was actually built in 1930.
It's a rainy day in Ketchikan, mid-June. Still very beautiful.
So as you get ready to disembark the ship, there are signs that remind you of the information you need to make sure to take ashore and what time to be back on board. Princess also suggests that you take a picture of this information of the phone number just in case you need help while in port. I think it's a great idea.
In Ketchikan this morning, and here's the difference between the two Princess ships. So here's the Discovery Princess, the Medallion class Princess Discovery, and here is the Ruby Princess, our other ship. It's wonderful to be in port at the same time. Hi everyone, Ketchikan morning.
And docked right next to us is the QE2, beautiful ship. So we're about a 15-minute walk into the main town. And right on cue, I see my first bald eagle. Well, he turned his back on me. Maybe he's a little camera shy, but how cool is that?
It's a busy day in Ketchikan, but here's the famous sign.
And the city has many displays of beautiful totem poles. I strongly suggest that you schedule all of your shore excursions through the cruise line. That way, if there's any unforeseen situations, you will know for sure that you will be back on board before the ship leaves. And if you just want to stay in town, one of the options is to see the Great Alaskan Lumberjack Show. It's quite something. And here's another one of my favorite restaurants. Now you may ask me, why do you eat in port when you have all the wonderful food on board? Well, sometimes you just need a change.
Here's a lovely bench that I considered buying for my deck. I don't know how I'd get it in my suitcase though. Absolutely beautiful totem poles.
And from here, it's about a 5-minute walk over to the famous Creek Street. On the way, I walked through a little park and I saw these adorable benches.
So here's the tram I was looking for behind this long totem pole. You see it, the ramp goes up the top of the hill, and there's the restaurant that I've been trying to get to but for the last month the red tram is not working, so I'll find out a little bit more. I have a feeling that it's out of order for the whole season, but I just heard there's a stairway that also goes up to the shops and the restaurant at the top of the hill. I will try that. I would rather just go on the tram, but I'll try and find the stairway.
Here's a picture of what it looks like up close, so you can see it's just a tram that goes to the top of the hill. And this is what it looked like last season. It's red, holds about 15 people, and it's a lot of fun. A fun way to move up the hill. And that's the creek that you hear in the background.
Oh, sorry.
And here we are at the famous Creek Street. It's actually a boardwalk that's mounted on stilts on the side of a mountain by the creek. It's lined with small, colorful shops and quaint little restaurants. It almost looks like a movie set, doesn't it? And here's the famous house that belonged to Dolly, and in the early 1900s, it was actually a house of ill repute. You can take a tour in it for about $10. I wanted to see what all the furnishings look like. I thought it was pretty interesting. Okay, on my way to find that stairway. And I have no comment about this sign.
Okay, here's the beginning of the stairs. We'll see how long I make it. It's a little muddy.
And here's a salmon ladder that helps the salmon go upstream. And here's the guy that was fishing from the rocks. I watched him for about 10 minutes. He didn't catch a thing. Beginning to think that maybe he's just there to entertain the tourists. And here's the final stairway up to the hotel. Hello there, Mr. Bear with a mask. And now it's time for brunch. A table with a view, please, and ordering their famous Eggs Benedict. So after I finished my delicious meal, I sat and I wrote a bit. Spoiler alert. I'm in the middle of writing a series of books for kids called Mysteries at Sea. It's kind of a Nancy Drew style, but it takes place on board and in real ports of call. And one of the scenes happens right here on this red cable car. So that's why I'm here, to investigate the scene. And when leaving, I say goodbye to the bear in the lobby. So another one of the shore excursions is dog sledding. Unfortunately, there is no snow, but it's still so much fun. They take you to the top of the hill where the dog sled camp is in this four-wheel drive, and then you ride in the simulated sled.
Hey, who's driving?
Yeah!
Behind us.
Woohoo!
Welcome everybody. How are you?
Woohoo! And if you're lucky, you get to hold a dog sled puppy. I thought this was pretty cool. And sometimes they even bring the puppies on board. Another optional shore excursion is zip lining. So they take you to the top of the mountain. At first you have to go over a little obstacle course just to learn to keep your balance. And then they strap you in and you start going zip, zip, zip from tree to tree. I believe there's about 8 different trees that you zip between. It's a lot of fun. Definitely get your heart going. And meanwhile, back on board, although the crew, we work really hard, we still know how to have a lot of fun. And if you've enjoyed my video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next port in Juneau.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me.
And here we are.
That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me win. You got me loose and set me free. You make me win.
I'm doing this.
You show me how to spread my wings.
Yeah, we got it.
You got me loose and set me free. You make me win. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds.